Also, Fan TV, I'm here with a legend at Play with a Legend. It's been Playing with a Legend today. First of all, what is Play with a Legend?
Well, it was an idea that my mate Grovesy come up with, him and his mate, where people have stag do's instead of going here, there and everywhere. They sort out for the lad who's getting married to go and play with one of their heroes, which is quite a good idea. And then you go out after, which is good. But I bet it's a great idea. I played in one up in Nottingham with some lads, and it was good fun. Really enjoyed it. They all enjoyed it, and then they had a good night after.
It's great. And you were rolling back the years today. I mean, you just still not moving as quickly as you used to back in the day, but still pinging that ball around. It's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. You can pass the ball around and you don't lose that. You just, the message don't get down to the feet quick enough and you can't move anymore. And I have to keep on remembering I'm nearly 48, so I can't run around with these youngsters anymore. But passing the ball, yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It was good. I love playing football. You just can't beat it. It's just,
You, back in the day, you was one of my favourite footballers. Listen, we all remember '89. I mean, you've had so many great times with Arsenal. What were your best times with Arsenal?
When you're winning trophies, 89, 91, 93, the Cups, 94. I think 94, I don't think Arsenal have won a European trophy since, have they?
No, we haven't.
No, which is unbelievable since the Cup Winners' Cup, which someone told me that the other month. I was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, when you're younger and you're winning trophies at a top club like Arsenal, and it is a top club, believe me, it's an absolute unbelievable football club, and you take it for granted, really. You think you're going to keep on winning stuff, and you only appreciate it when you see someone else win it.
Yeah.
So that was the shame of it, really. And it was only when I went to Portsmouth and I won the league with Portsmouth that you could sort of sit back and take it in and think, wow, this is something special. Even to win the Championship and get promoted to the Premier League, which is nothing compared to what we've done at Arsenal, but you could take it in.
And I mean, you played with some legends as well at the time, guys like David Rocastle. It must have been great times playing at Arsenal because you guys weren't just winning things, you were playing with a swagger.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're playing for the best club in the world. You live in a life of everybody behind the goal that dreams of, and it was fun, it was hard, and it was, it ain't a job. You're playing football. Playing football, in my opinion, one of the top clubs in world football. Not in definitely not just London, but in world football. And you're playing for a club. You're getting paid. You're living the life, and you look like Brad Pitt as well. You do. When you're playing football, you look like Brad Pitt. I don't care what anybody says. Don't you? You look like Brad Pitt. As soon as I left Arsenal, I didn't look like Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Now listen, managers that you played under, who was the best?
I got to say George Graham. I've got to, because we won all the trophies with George. I don't think we'd have won anything without him. We had a good team, but players had to be put in positions. The defence had to know. You got to remember Lee Dixon from Stoke, Boldy from Stoke, Nigel from Wimbledon. They come jagged, if you know what I mean. And George had to make them into proper top draw defenders, which he did, and fair play to them, they did. So without George doing that, and getting a shape that we all worked off, we worked hard. We played hard, but we worked hard as well, and that was the reason we won things. We had a bit of goal about us. We had steel, and we were double fit.
I still think the greatest Arsenal moment, that trophy, winning the league up there at Liverpool. I mean, going into that game, driving up there that day or flying up there, whatever you did, right? Did you guys believe, going up there that you could do it?
No chance. I didn't give us a chance. That was probably the best club team I played against, Liverpool. That was a phenomenal team. They just won the FA Cup. They'd smashed West Ham 5 in the league. I mean, we struggled at home to Wimbledon, which we probably should have lost that game. If Wimbledon had a bit more about them, they had enough counter-attacking opportunities to win that game, which would have been all over. And I remember when we run out, I looked to the left and the stand was half empty. I thought, oh my God, they don't even think we're going to win either. But everybody was stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. I mean, it don't matter if you live in Accrington, Stanley, you come from Halifax, Barrow, Cornwall. If you're old enough and you like football, you will remember where you were that night. everybody. That game will never ever be forgotten. People, you know, I was lucky enough to be part of the Aguero goal at Sky. Yeah. I was lucky enough. It was nothing like the Arsenal Liverpool one. Nothing. It would never happen again. It's a miracle. We had to beat the team who were the best team. They were winning everything, winning absolutely everything. You know.
I was about to say that because with the Aguero one, yes, it was a dramatic moment. We were all expecting City to win that game, but in the Arsenal case, most people were like, no chance.
Oh, no, definitely not. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. You know, John Barnes was one of the best English players I've ever seen. I still say to him now, what was you doing? What, you just keep it in the corner. You've won. You just won, and that was it. I mean, he was that good. He thought he could take someone on and do something. And the goal is still one of the best goals I've ever seen in football. I mean, the best goal I've ever seen is Maradona against England. I'm afraid it is the best goal I've ever seen. But that's one of the best football goals I've ever seen. And you have, it's very easy. You know, people go on about the David Beckham goal against Wimbledon. It was 2-0 with 1 minute to go. You know, it weren't the last day of the season. He'd already missed an half-decent chance, and there's a minute to go, and Arsenal ain't won the league for 18, 19 years. That's what it's all about, and that's what you call a world-class goal.
Any regrets in your career? Maybe not playing in more for England?
No, I mean, I don't have regrets. I mean, I had a great career. Thank God I didn't have any injuries. You know, I won everything in the game by the Champions League, and I loved every minute of it. Loved every minute of it. If someone said to me, would you start over again? I'd say no, because I don't know if I'd be a footballer. I don't know if I'd make it.
What about if you started now with all the money splashing around? You know, I mean, 100 grand. Because come on, you'd definitely be one of those players that'd be on 100 grand plus a week.
I'd find it hard because like the things I like doing, the gambling, and all that. Not that I like to go out and have a good time. I like to be, you know, without being a bit stare at. I like to be around the fans. I'm one of the people. And George always used to pull me in and say, "You got to remember who you are, what you are, and who you represent." And I don't get it. You know, I was a young lad off a council estate, lived in Holsden, who played football for one of the best teams in the world, and that was it. I couldn't change, and I wouldn't have changed, you know. And I like going out and being with the lads and going up the Gunners after the game with a bank of friendship and having a beer with the fans. That was what it was all about.
I'd love to see that now.
That was what it was all about.
The Gunners now and see some of these players turn up there.
Imagine for a baby sham.
Now, listen, you've gone on to be one of the top pundits, very controversial at times on Sky. You say it as it is, and that's why a lot of people really like you. They respect your style of punditry. I mean, you know, tell us about that as well. I mean, you are very controversial sometimes. You'll even tear into Arsenal if need be.
Yeah, I love my job. I love it. I'm very, very lucky, believe me. I love working at Sky. There's no doubt about that. Controversial, I talk my mind. You know, what I believe, I talk. If I upset someone, I upset someone, and that's
the manager got upset with you one time. Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, and then he turned around and said he's never managed before. Well, I have managed, but he's never played before. So, do you know what I mean?
Didn't he play? He played. Though.
Oh, did he? I don't know what division that was in. But no. He's a top manager. It's just, you know, I get frustrated. You know, when I'm watching Arsenal and they're 3-0 up, and they get a team that shouldn't even be on the same football pitches and come back and draw 3-3. You know, I've got to say something. I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, don't worry, everything's going to be all right," because it won't be all right. And you know, I respect Arsene Wenger immensely. There's no doubt about it. He's a top manager. You know, you don't stay at Arsenal that long if you're not a top draw. I talk my mind. That's what I talk. If someone does great, I'm the first to say great. You know, I see Arsenal play at Reading live on Sky. I was lucky enough to do the game for Sky on a Sunday. They beat Reading 4-0. They should have put that in W.H. Smith's on Monday. It was the ultimate performance. It was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen from a football team for a long time. So, you know, I'm honest, and I credit where credit's due. But when, you know, sometimes you have to be honest and be harsh, and that's the way it is. I think a lot of people are very interested and get a bit upset, which you think, wow, you know, surely.
And the team at the moment, finally, I mean, you know,
it's short.
You feel they're short at the moment?
It's short, very short. Very short.
Very short?
Yeah, very short. In my opinion, I think they need a holding midfield player. I mean, Coquelin was very lucky the other day. Very lucky to stay on the pitch. If he goes off, Arsenal don't win that game. Before you know it, then they're 0-2. That ain't going to win you anything. You're near on going to play Liverpool on Monday night with a must-win football match, and we're still in August. So, you know, that bit of experience there. I think still at the back, I think there's still a little bit ropey. I think if Ozil can play like he played the other day, Arsenal will have a very good season. I think that personally, I think they're very, very reliable. And I'm a big fan. I think he's different gravy. I really do. I think he has that. He hasn't got that Sanchez run around and chase everybody down, so people think he doesn't care. But he's a proper footballer. He is. For me, I think he's the best footballer at Arsenal.
Up front, it's been a big debate. Do you think we're short there as well? Do you think we need a player up front?
Yeah, I can understand what Arsene's saying when it got interviewed and he turned around and said, you know, if if Giroud plays the whole season, he'll get 20 goals. I think anybody who plays up front for Arsenal will get 20 goals. It's not that, it's what else you bring. I do like Giroud, but I think when you're Arsenal and you're going to that other level, Arsenal are going into the Champions League to win it. People might go, they won't win it. But they're going in to win it. They're not going in for we'll see how far we get. So if you can get a Benzema, you know, I've seen it before. The team sheet comes in, Benzema's up front. You can't tell me the two centre-halves ain't going to be thinking, Benzema who's at Real Madrid who's ripping it up. You know, that's the thing for me. I think they need a centre-half, a centre midfield player and a centre-forward still. And that's not very good when you need a spine of a football team. Well,
listen, it's been a pleasure. It was great watching you rolling back the years as well. Even though you weren't sprinting, but I just loved the way you were just casually...
I was sprinting.
Now you're just casually pinging it around. I just loved it. I love watching it. Well done. Keep up the great work on Sky as well.
Thank you. To be a gooner.
In the modern day game, I think a lot of players don't know their role and they don't know their place. And I'm not saying, you know, I used to go on the pitch thinking I was the best player on the pitch. Because if you don't, then it's not worth playing football. You know, in reality, I knew that other people would probably be more influential than me. But if I didn't do my job of getting in behind the centre-halves or stretching the full-back or closing centre-halves down, then number one, I wasn't going to play. And number two, I'm not justifying position in the team.